with host Connor Gleason.
Perfect.
The one and only.
One and only. All right. What's good, everyone? Welcome to the Through It All podcast. We're back with another EP today. The whole goal of the podcast, as you guys kind of know, is to just have honest conversations about overcoming the difficulties of life and just having people on that share their successes and failures and just basically giving back. So this is like open book, free information. And today, very special guest, Jeff High. Jeff is a trainer here also at the box in Costa Mesa, who runs the 6 a.m. classes daily and also you work at a rehabilitation center down the street.
That's correct.
Which is super cool. So today he took a day off to give back to the people on YouTube. So how are we doing today, man?
Great. Thanks for having me on, Connor. Appreciate it, man. Stoked to be here.
This is I've been telling you, like, bro, I got to get Jeff on the pod, and here we are. So one of the things you mentioned and you kind of brought up was just becoming the best version of yourself. Basically, that's how you want to live your life. So what event kind of inspired you to really excel and take off on that path?
Well, that's a good question. I guess it was like, to be honest, man, like 4 years ago, like 4.5 years ago, I was at like the lowest point of my life, man. Like just addicted to alcohol and drugs and that kind of stuff, you know, and kind of just fell off like life, so to speak, you know. And then I made a decision to turn it all around and clean up my act and get sober and stuff like that. But then when I got sober and the fog kind of cleared, you know, I didn't want to just be like average. Like just being average scared me. I'm like, I want to be the best fucking Jeff High that there is. Like, you know what I mean? Like the best fucking version of myself that I could possibly be, so I could give it away to my people. And I always had this like vision, you know what I mean? Like this vision of like of a family, like, you know, and just being the best version I can, not just being average and sitting on the couch and, you know what I mean, working some stale 9 to 5 and coming home all tired and then, you know, sitting on the couch and drinking whatever, beer or fucking, what, you know what I mean, whatever, maybe not beer, but.
Damn, man, that's beautiful. Because I always see, you know, you're posting on social media, obviously, because I follow you, and then you're in here, like, you're always getting your workout in. So that's just, like, to me, just being around in that environment with all these guys in the box and stuff like that, it's really, like, you are who you hang around. So it's like seeing you guys, like, doing your thing motivates me to be the best version of myself. So just kind of to follow up on that, I know you grew up doing like the extreme sports when you were younger, like surfing, skating, all that stuff, and you even had a fighting career too, right?
Just like smoker fights, like right. In gyms like that, you know. But I started working in a gym, LA Boxing in Costa Mesa, when I was 18 years old. 19 years old, yeah. And just kind of fell into it, you know, like by default. I started teaching classes there because the instructor didn't show up in the mornings, and then just ended up taking that class over. And then, you know, I was into it. You know, I'd been training there for a year or two prior and stuff, and did like maybe a smoker fight before that, but then started working there, and just fell in love with the whole crew there. It was like a family, you know what I mean? It was like a family to me. I stayed there till they closed down and turned into a different gym franchise. But yeah, I love it, man. I thought that chapter of my life was over, and then here we are. We're back here. We're back in the box, and I've known Mario, the guy that opened the gym, for probably over a decade now, and he's just great. He's like family too. So it's really good to be back in this kind of realm. You know what I mean? Yeah,
man. No, it's for sure. I step in here and I feel the family, you know, atmosphere. Everyone is like, they very much push each other to be like, to reach their potential, but it's also like super loving. That's where it all comes from. So I totally feel that when I come in here. And I also kind of wanted to get back to, you know, you said, okay, at 38, I was at my lowest point, right?
No, I was at 33.
33.
I'm going to be 38 on Monday. But
38 on Monday.
Yeah, 38
okay.
On Monday.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, 33 was the low point in my life.
So 33, walk me through like what was your mental state, like what was your perspective on life kind of from 33 or whatever before that, or just kind of around that age?
Well, I guess when I was 30, I was like looking back, and I had like a good career when I was in my early 20s, like my late teens. Like I had a house by the beach, a truck, a Harley, everything a young kid could want. Like at that time, working at a boxing gym, working at like the cool bar in town, and it was just like it was just party every night type thing, you know what I mean? It was like, to me, I was like a rock star in my own head, like, you know what I mean? But it was just like, so I was living this fast life, so to speak. And as time progressed, and the gym kind of the gym that I was working at got sold into a franchise. It kind of just, that fizzled out after a few years. I went to work for that other gym, and that kind of fizzled out. And then I got addicted to painkillers and alcohol and stuff like that, and some other things. And anyways, all this stuff kind of just drifted away. I lost it all, like little by little, and I just didn't I didn't even realize that I was losing little by little. Like, lost the car, lost the place to live, and I'm like, I opened my eyes one day and I'm on fucking mom's couch. You know what I mean? Like sleeping on mom's couch, like no job, like just total loser lifestyle. And I'm just like, fuck, what am I doing, man? I'm 33 years old. Like, this is not what I was meant for more, you know what I mean? So from there I decided to clean up my act and just get like, just change my life, and I was like, to me, failure wasn't an option. I'm like, I knew from the start I was going to go through with it. And when the fog started to evaporate, I just was like, okay, now it's like, I've overcome this variable, like getting sober, and what's the next one? Like, okay, we're going to get back in shape. We're going to get shit, like, we're going to get, not only get back in shape, we're going to get in the best fucking shape of anybody around, you know what I mean? And then it's like, what next? Okay, and then it's like, if I could do this, like, maybe I can help some people, you know what I mean? Maybe I can help some people out. So I went to work in the field of drug and alcohol rehabilitation, which I still work there in the afternoons, so it's I don't know, I've always wanted to just help people, you know what I mean? Like, whether from an early age, I'm like, I don't know what I want to be like, but I just want to be like, I still don't know what I want to be like, you know what I mean? But I'm like, hey, like, as long as I'm helping people, like, in the mornings getting in shape, and in the afternoons, like, overcoming their demons, like, with drugs and alcohol, it's like, I feel good about myself at the end of the day. I don't feel like a used car salesman, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel good about myself, like, hey, I helped some people out today, and I feel good. I can, like, lay my head down at night, And, yeah, it feels good to be, at least, like, have a job that's, I've been blessed my whole life with being able to help people, like, in my careers and stuff like that, so it's good, yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, man. I appreciate you sharing. I kind of want to, you mentioned, like, the fog. Like, once I got past the fog, then it was like, okay, now I want to excel. I don't want to be, just, like you said, average or whatever.
Yeah.
So let's say someone was in the same position that you were in. What advice would you give them to get through that fog? Because that's like would you say that's probably the hardest part? Like the first steps of getting out of that, like, fog?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the hardest obstacles to overcome, for sure. I guess what I would, the advice that I would give that person if they were in my shoes at that time would be, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to sit through some uncomfortable times. But I would say this, like, through those times, those uncomfortable times, comes growth. Every uncomfortable, I look at it as an opportunity for growth. Every time you feel uncomfortable, every time you feel like you just want to tap out and do it, if you can just hang in there a little bit longer and persevere, that growth is going to happen, and it, because nobody grows like watching fucking Netflix on the couch, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They might, but in a different way, you know what I'm saying? So, but growth comes from from the simplest things, from working out. You got to get uncomfortable, you know what I mean? From just being, from spiritually growth, you got to grow, like, it's going to be uncomfortable. For mental growth, like, it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to, buckle down, read, study, like, stuff like that. Anything like that, you got to. So the advice I would give myself would be, get comfortable with being uncomfortable for a while, But on the other side of that uncomfortability comes growth,
I love that, man. And like, would you say working out was kind of like, during that time, a release for you to just say, oh man, I'm gonna just focus on working out, and then it just makes you feel good, and then you feel like you're taking steps toward the person you're trying to become?
Yeah, definitely. But the most important part of the working out, it wasn't about it was, like, to, like, be in good shape and all that. That's a part of it, of course, but it's also to just like like establishing a daily routine, and also if you can implement like a little bit of like hardship in the morning. Like I do it just like how Sean was saying. I get up at 4 a.m. every morning. You can see it on my Instagram. I post the time. I post my first meal that I eat, and I post my workouts right there, and it's always early in the morning, you know. Before I was working here at the box, I'd be working out at 5 a.m. when the doors opened, you know. And it was, if you could just implement like a little bit of some hardship in the morning, the rest of the day is going to be easy, you know what I mean? So if you can make it through that, you know, that hard workout, and I'm at a loss for, I was going to say like a specific word, but I forgot what I was going to say. But if you could implement a hard, like a little bit of hardness, like, so right off the bat, you're going to go, I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to choose to eat healthy instead of eating some shit, like, you know what I mean? Like waffles or a donut or something like that. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to hit my protein shake. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to hit that workout hard. And then, you know, if I can suffer, like what some people would call suffer through a workout and suffer through a healthy meal, then it's like, well, the rest of the day is going to be easy. It's already in flow state. You know what I mean? I'm already operating at a level like that most people aren't even awake yet. You know what I mean? While you're doing this kind of stuff. So it's just by like doing wake up, do something hard right off the bat. First thing, actually, the hard thing is not hitting the fucking snooze button on your alarm. So when that alarm goes off at 4 a.m., 90% of people go, oh shit, let me just hit that snooze button, bam, and hit that for a second, and then go back to sleep, and then pretty soon they hit that motherfucker 3 or 4, 5 times, and then it's like they wake up at 8 or 9, you know, and they're like, oh man, my day's shot, you know, because I got to do this. But the first thing is just non-negotiable in my head. Boom, turn that alarm up, get up, make some coffee, hit that protein shake, and then go straight to work at the gym, you know, or come here and work out, you know. Along with prayer and meditation, I like to do that in the morning too. It kind of centers me.
Really?
Yeah.
Go into, because I love the meditation stuff and the prayer and all that stuff. So what do you specifically do like in the morning with those two things?
That's a good question. So in the morning, I like to wake up and I like to make that coffee first of all to kind of just get myself like jump start, and then I'll just for a few moments I'll turn off all electronics and just kind of sit there in silence and listen to like the universe like kind of just speak to me, as corny as that sounds. Like I just like to like, you know, kind of just sit there and listen, tune everything out for a little bit, and then I'll just I'll hit like, you know, some prayers in the morning, like which I didn't always do. Like that's a new thing that I've implemented in my life in the last 4 years, you know what I mean? Mainly just to show like gratitude, you know what I mean? Gratitude for this life that I've given now. Like, got an amazing family. I got a child on the way, October 15th. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And just this life, this whole life is a blessing, man. Life is a blessing, you know what I mean? It's just and every day is an opportunity to make it better, you know what I mean? So, I always just express my gratitude through prayer and meditation, and just kind of listen for the next thing coming, you know what I mean? So instead of like, because a lot of people will just go right to the social media or like right to that. And don't get me wrong, I do that too, you know what I mean? But I like to like dedicate a certain amount of time for some prayer and some peace and quiet, like with all electronics off, you know?
That's a sweet thing, man.
Yeah.
How cool is it, that feeling that you get when you look back on where you were at 33, you said sleeping on your mom's couch, to now you're living the best possible version of yourself.
Oh man. Like, what was the question?
Just like, how does that feel? Just talk about like the feeling that you get of just when you know how when you think about certain things in the past, and it's just like, man, for me that was just a low point and I've come all this way. Yeah. Just talk about like that feeling and looking back on that process, and a takeaway or two, or just reflect on it basically. So yeah, basically I'm looking back at that person, and like right now as I'm talking to you, and I wouldn't even recognize that person if I like, you know, went back to it. But I think the whole importance of this routine and this daily structure that I live day in and day out every single day is the because it's probably so easy to go back to it like that. It's not probably, it's a for sure thing. So if I don't do this thing and implement this daily program that I've established for myself over the last 4.5 years, that it's pretty easy to go back to that. But again, man, it's just living every day in gratitude, and doing these things is also like a form of gratitude. Like, not living anything other than my best life would be just disrespectful, like, in my opinion, you know what I mean? And it's just that I was just being a disrespectful, ungrateful person, you know what I mean? I was disrespecting myself, like my family, and just being ungrateful for this life
that I was given, man, and so that was another big turning point on my awakening, so to speak, at 33. Like, you know, it's like, hey, let's get busy living, so to speak, you know, instead of continuing dying like I was doing. Just get busy living, you know, like that movie Shawshank Redemption or whatever they say, get busy living or get busy dying, man. Well, I was dying for years, so it's so it just was like, okay, now it's time to get busy living.
Man, that's an amazing thing. I think it's super cool how you're giving back at the rehabilitation center. Talk about, like, what is your biggest takeaway from working with all those people, trying to help them get on the path that you were once on, I guess?
Well, like anything, any kind of job can get monotonous sometimes, you know. So it's like, you know, sometimes like if I've had a long day, trained a bunch of people here at the boxing gym, and just hit that workout super hard, I'm exhausted, and it's the end of the night, and somebody's bitching about how their meds are getting mixed up, or how they want to leave because of this and that, or because we have the wrong fucking shampoo or something. It's like they want to leave over any little thing. Sometimes it gets annoying, but the thing is I always just try to remember that, hey, I was once there myself, like in that stage of like early sobriety where it's and it's just, you got to remember. So it's just like the best thing about it is just like, being able to like be there and talk to people and say, hey man, you can make it through this too, because I know what it's like, because I was in your shoes not too long ago, and I know what you're feeling, and I know you can live your best life times 10. You know what I mean? Like, whatever your version of your best life is, you could live that times 10. And I guarantee if you can just sit through this temporary moment of uncomfortability, you will get there, you know. Like they say, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, but it will materialize if you work for it, you know.
Yeah, man, I love your mentality, man. It's inspiring, man, the stuff you've overcome. So just to really wrap it up, what does through it all mean to you?
That's a great question. I heard you ask that in the last podcast, and immediately the term that came to mind was perseverance. Perseverance through it all. Through it all could be life, you know, the hard times, the good times, and the in-between times, you know, persevering through hardships, through the good time. It's just living life like a man, like, you know, like for like a man or a woman or whatever, like you are listening, but living your best life and being the best version of yourself for others, for your family, for your friends, for your people, like for your clients, whatever it may be, being the best version of yourself, so you could make it look attractive, so people want it. You know what I mean? If you're not getting results like in any area that you're looking for, nobody's going to want it. You know what I mean? If you're working out every day and you're not getting the results, people are going to be like, I don't want that shit. You know, he's not doing it. Or if you're sober and you're just an asshole, like, people are like, why would I want to be sober? And that guy's just an asshole. You know what I mean? So it's so living by attraction rather than promotion, so to speak, you know.
Sweet. Perfect, man. And then couple quick ones at the end. What is your favorite pizza restaurant?
Oh man, see, that's crazy you asked that question. My wife's probably over there laughing right now, but she's we go like every like once a month. I do a cheat meal like every once in a while, and it's always got to be pizza. So we're always exploring pizza places, you know. But the favorite pizza restaurant currently at the moment is this place in La Mirada called Gondola's Pizza. It's really good. Okay. A coworker told me about it, and I'm like, drove all the way the fuck out to La Mirada to go there and check it out, and it was everything he hyped it up to be. It was great.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Advice you give yourself at your lowest point?
Ooh, yeah, definitely. It just goes back to that being comfortable, being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to sacrifice and you're gonna have to work. But if you can persevere through it all,
there you go.
You can have, see, like that little plug I plugged in right there. Yeah, if you can persevere through it all, you're going to have the life of your dreams plus more, you know what I mean? And it's, like I say, every day I wake up in the morning and I'm just so baffled of how perfect life is, you know what I mean? And how grateful I am to be living this life, you know, with my family, my wife, my kid, my stepson, and my soon-to-be daughter in October, man. It's like I wake up and I'm like, how did I get here, you know what I mean? But I quickly realized like how I did get here was through implementing this daily routine of discipline and working hard, and being a man and not a little a little baby boy like I was being most of my life. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Jeff, hi, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you, man.
Connor, thanks so much for having me. Yeah. Thank you. All right, brother. Thank you. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
That was great.
Cool, man. Thanks. I love it.